The official Twitter account for WWE Hall of Famer Terry Funk has confirmed that the pro wrestling legend is currently dealing with many health issues and is living in an assisted living facility. As noted, it was reported earlier that Funk is suffering from dementia and is living in an assisted facility in Amarillo, Texas. The update was first provided by WWE Hall of Famer Don Morocco on his podcast and later confirmed by PW Insider. So, the entire wrestling community, in a very positive way, has been showing support for Terry Funk today. And it's worth to note, Terry Funk is still alive. He's been talking to his friends. It's not it's a situation where, he's on the brink of something terrible happening. But, it is a very sobering thought, Trevor. It's a very sobering revelation about this. And, I just want to get your reaction initially about this news.
Man, it's just sad. It is sad. It's always sad when one of your heroes or one of the people you used to watch growing up is sick or going through health issues, and it's sad. I love Terry Funk. I remember watching him growing up. Terry was a nutcase. It always has been, but he was a great wrestler. He had great matches in New Japan, great matches everywhere he was. Yeah, it's sad to know he's his current situation, but he's a fighter. He'll keep fighting. I know he's not giving up without a fight. Definitely.
Oh yeah, totally. And for anyone who wants evidence of that, he spoke with Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer recently revealed today about the conversation that he had with Terry Funk, and he said that Terry said, quote, I'm currently sitting in an assisted living place with my thumb up my ass, whistling Dixie, but I don't remember the words. So he's in good spirits. He's obviously making reference and joking about, the reality of him having, dementia. But, he's taking in his stride, which the best way you can take it, honestly, at that point. But I want to kind of switch gears and just, for a second, talk about Terry Funk and his career and what he's meant for wrestling. And a lot of people, when they think about Terry Funk, Trevor, they think about the hardcore legend. They think about ECW. They think about this person who helped legitimize ECW as a brand in the 90s. And while that is true, I think what a lot of people leave out is the reason that someone like Terry Funk was able to legitimize ECW, like this new extreme fringe brand. The reason for that is Terry Funk was an established star in wrestling
Or was.
20 years before he ever stepped foot in the ECW arena.
Yep.
He won the NWA title in 1975, and he was a champion for what I believe was over a year. I believe it was like 400 something days. So Funk, he was a champion, a world's heavyweight champion, the NWA world heavyweight champion in his own right. And I think a lot of people forget about that. A lot of people like to remember Chainsaw Charlie, which, hey, it was his idea. But a
Well,
lot of people remember Chainsaw Charlie. A lot of people remember, his matches in ECW, which were all great. But I think one thing we always leave out, or that people tend to leave out, are the matches he had in Japan, the runs that he had in Texas before he became big time. He was obviously in the Hall of Fame, as you can see here. But like Terry Funk was an established star long before he became a hardcore legend. This is evidence of it. Him with the NWA World Title in the '70s. So I
he had
think
skills, man. He did.
yeah,
He had skills. He was
yeah.
actually a pretty technical guy, and you wouldn't imagine that someone like him to be that technical. But he was actually a pretty technical wrestler. Um, he was, man. Like I said, I remember seeing him even like fight some of the Von Erichs and guys like that and things, and even Dusty Rhodes, guys like that. Like he was a very accomplished wrestler. Like you said, he wouldn't have been able to do the things he did without being so.
Yeah.
Um, you mentioned something about dementia earlier because we're talking about this in a story he mentioned. Um, like my grandmother also had dementia, and I take away some of the funnier parts from the things that was said, and my grandmother said something similar to that Terry said. She goes, I walk in the room. I said, "Are you hungry?" And she goes, "Yeah, I am. I want something to eat, but I got to be honest with you. I have no idea who the hell you are. So it's just the attitude you have to have for something like that, and he has the right mentality for it. You got the old saying goes, you got to laugh because to keep from crying, and that's pretty much what you got to do.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, we all fall on hard times sometimes to misquote Dusty Rhodes, right? But it's not so much I think about what is wrong with you. It's about how you deal with. And I think people like your grandmother, people like Terry Funk, are probably dealing with it as good as, like I said, anyone can. And like that's props to them, props to, because like who knows, who can imagine what's going through your mind, like when you're told news like that, when the reality hits you in an assisted living facility. But Terry Funk has given so much, cannot emphasize this enough, to the wrestling business. He's literally put his life on the line for decades. There's the meme of him retiring, like what if 20 times, I believe, in the past. Like literally, he's had like
Yeah.
20 retirement matches. But like there's a reason for that. Terry Funk is the epitome of passion in the wrestling business. Nobody in the wrestling business, you can argue, has more passion for the wrestling business than Terry Funk. This dude, his knees were shot, completely shot. He didn't have any cartilage in his knees in the 90s. Still went out there and wrestled. He last wrestled a match in WWE in 2006. 2006.
Yeah.
Truly think about that. And it was a
It
hardcore
started in
match.
the 70s.
He started in the 60s. Like
60s,
Terry,
actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Terry Funk. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but Terry Funk has been around.
You're
People
absolutely right.
forget.
Yeah.
Right, that's a black and white picture. Terry Funk's been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's been
he,
around a
so
long
he's,
time.
yeah, so he is truly a legend. When people say hardcore legend, I think it's accurate, but it takes away from what Terry Funk gave to the wrestling business. If you haven't watched any of his NWA matches, do yourself a favor. Go watch that. If he's on your mind, go watch them. Go watch him in ECW. Go watch something
Yeah.
to something new, to kind of broaden your perspective about Terry Funk, the wrestler, Terry Funk, the entertainer. Because that's the reason. Remember, that's the reason Terry Funk did all this. He could wrestle in front of 5 people, and he would feel the same rush as wrestling in front of 5,000 people. That's the type of mentality that Terry Funk has. So, I know I can speak for you, Trevor, when I say, Terry Funk, we love you. We're thinking about you. And, man, dude, big props to you. Good luck to you. Good luck to your family. Your prayers, thoughts are completely with you guys.
Keep raising hell, Terry.
Keep raising hell, Terry. Keep raising hell. So, yeah, again, Terry Funk, man, literally. I know we like to say who's the guy,
Larry
living
Zbyszko.
legend, Larry Zbyszko. Everyone calls him a living legend, which he is. But I think today Terry Funk really has can take that moniker, because that's truly what he is. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.